But welcome back, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, to Game 2 between MudGolems and Liquid? Nigma. It's old Liquid, it's very old Liquid. This change happened a long time ago. Shouldn't be making that same mistake. New still, Nigma versus MudGolems, Game 2. Nigma took that first game in just unbelievably dominant fashion. Like, MudGolems, they got ronked, in short. They got ronked. There's a couple of mistakes, maybe it's a little bit of mistakes in the drafting phase, and it all spiraled out of control from them. They didn't feel like they can get back into that game whatsoever. So hopefully they've had a little bit of a reset and they're going to bring themselves back into this game. They've actually led up with the Viper ban. I mean, I think the only reason they picked Viper to begin with was purely because it's to counter out the Spectre. I mean, I know Weehar likes playing the Viper anyway, but I mean, I don't know if it probably would have been picked if there isn't some sort of big counter to some sort of passive ability like the Spectre. So maybe there's, I don't know. I don't think you really need to ban that out. They even take away the Ancient Apparition. Nigma, they'll take away the IO and the Enchantress as their first grabs. So it's all open for MudGolems. They might just grab the Faceless Void. They grabbed it before I could finish saying it. There is also the Snapfire still left to pick, which is something which they love to pair with the Faceless Void, just being able to use those Mortimer's Kisses to do damage on whoever gets locked inside. So you could potentially see that as their second pick. Or maybe Nigma want to be cute and just take the Snapfire as their pick themselves. It's not like a super high pick rate on them, but they do play it sometimes. They play it quite well. But instead they'll just take away the Lina. So this can be put into the hands of GH or even Weehar for the mid lane. So it's still, you know, a little bit flexible, always a decent position for, able to provide a good amount of stun whilst also doing a lot of damage in team fights. So we'll see if maybe MudGolems still want to go for that Snapfire. I don't see why they wouldn't. It is something which they love pairing up. And there you go, they take it, sure enough. So maybe they could potentially just go for Avenge or something right now and just be able to have pure save onto whoever does get caught out by the Faceless Void ultimate. But I mean, if you take the Venge, then the Drow is pretty much guaranteed to be banned out in the next phase. And exactly the same, if you pick the Drow, then the Venge will pretty much be guaranteed to be banned out, so it won't really work. Instead, they'll take the Beastmaster, and that'll be in the hands of Michael for the offlane. So always going to have that ability just to throw a moon piercing stun straight onto the Faceless Void to just try and mitigate any sort of damage on whoever does get caught out by the Chronosphere, or even just use the stun on the Snapfire to stop the Mortimer's Kisses. Either one works perfectly well. Also, if it is even the Beastmaster that gets caught out by the Chronosphere, he is quite tanky as well, so he probably would survive a pretty decent amount of time, maybe enough time for the rest of Nigma to rotate around, provide him a little bit of assistance. MudGolems, they take away the Spectre this time. Nigma, remove the Tidehunter, don't want that to fall into the hands of 33, which will provide extra team fight. So could potentially see a Mars pickup now for the side of Nigma and put that. Actually, no, they've already got the Beastmaster to go into GH's hands, Microshot's hands, sorry. So you probably won't see a Mars. I was going to say, purely because the fact that Faceless Void's already been picked, so you can pick the Mars without having to worry about banning out the Lifestealer, purely the fact they've already got a position 1, so you would potentially secure yourselves in that front. But even still, as I was saying, they've got the Beastmaster. So it depends if MudGolems are just going to carry on trying to pick sort of big team fight ultimates to just try and get as much of a dominant position in these fights as they can, or if these two big ultimates are enough and then the other heroes they can pick up are just sort of high tempo-ish kind of heroes, not really relying on big cooldowns, able to always have a bit of presence. So maybe something like the Rubik could be quite nice for MudGolems. You got a good couple of spells to steal off of the Beastmaster and the Lina. Well, I mean, exactly likewise for Nigma. And Nigma actually have first pick, so I think if this Rubik doesn't get banned, I think this is going to get snapped up. So many good spells to steal on both sides, and there's only 2 heroes. It looks like MudGolems focused all of their bans going towards Miracle, so they actually grab the Earth Spirit, so that is both support positions filled out for Nigma, unless they're going to move this Lina to be in the hands of Weehaw in the mid lane, perhaps. But, okay, on MudGolems, I still think Rubik's good. I still think Rubik's good. You can steal the Roar, you can steal the LSA, the Dragon Slave, the Guna Blades, so many good steals. We'll see what they are going to grab. I mean, it's what I'd grab him like if I was in their position. So what else sort of? So, well, for the side of Nigma anyway, it's still Miracles and Weehaw's hero to pick up. Most likely, Weehaw's hero to pick up. Could potentially see like an Invoker grab up on the side of Nigma, just so you always have that sort of like tornado to throw into the Chronosphere and disrupt the damage with Faceless Void. Plus you've got a myriad of disables for the Snapfire. MudGolems, they go quite big on the teamfight ultimate abilities. They even grab the Phoenix. So, and then potentially we might see a Mars grab from them as well. They're still after an offlaner. But then Nigma, they snap up the Storm Spirit, so that'll be in the hands of Weehaw. So maybe looking to try and get that early Orchid online and to silence up the Phoenix and bring him down before he has the chance to use the egg, or likewise the same with the Faceless Void and the Snapfire. At least this way you're going to force the Faceless Void to build into the Manta style. Because when you tend to see Faceless Void to keep up the farm, they want to build a Battle Fury, but if they're building a Battle Fury, then the Manta style is even more delayed, so they're going to be easy targets for an Orchid. But if they go for the Manta style first, then that means they've lost a lot of efficiency with the Battle Fury, and that timing's been delayed even longer. MudGolems are actually going to grab the Void Spirit. Who actually plays that on side? So 33 actually does play it, but Boromir also plays it. So yeah, thinking this is probably going to be a Boromir Void Spirit for the mid lane. I think I still would have liked Mars on the side of MudGolems. I mean, they've already got 3 big cooldown dependent ultimates. So I mean, what's one more at that point? Your team fight's already going to be severely limited when these 3 are down. So you may as well just have it severely limited when you have 4 down. Like, you're not going to be able to fight even if you have 2 heroes which still can use some of their abilities. It just makes everything so much more awkward. You have to try and play around the Chronosphere, the Snapfire, Cookies, the Morpheus Kisser, sorry, and the Egg for the Phoenix. So yeah, we'll see what they go for. But I mean, if they do take their pickup, they're not really going to have like a... Well, no, they do need it as well, because it also provides them a tanky hero to be in the front lines, which is what they're lacking. But I mean, it's all awkward. It's all awkward. So we'll see what grab they're going to pick for Miracle here. Ricky's gone, Lifestealer, PA, Anti-Mage, Spectre, all gone out of the pool. So Nigma are sure that this is going to be a off-lane Void Spirit, focusing all their bans towards Boromir. I mean, I mean, I would be quite. It'd be quite cool then for them just to put the Void Spirit into the mid lane and then just throw off those bans and then still be able to grab the Mars. So I still think the Mars is a good pick. I mean, it's kind of difficult to lock down the Storm Spirit, but everyone else on the side, even Earth Spirit, can sort of roll through it. And even still, it's an awkward fight, team fight to go around. Plus, it gives you protection on the egg. Okay, so they're actually going to grab the Mirana. So this will be mid lane Mirana, or this is actually going to be position for Mirana and then taking the Snapfire in the mid lane. But then I mean, I suppose you could spit out the Faceless Void once the Snapfire has the Axe online and throw the Void in there to try and get a decent Chronosphere off. But even still, the Faceless Void's already got his own ability. And then Miranda's got her own movability. Void Spear's got his own maneuverability. Even Felix has. All four of these other heroes have it. So I don't think there's going to be a core Snapfire. There's not really much point getting the Axe in this game, I don't think. So maybe this is just going to be a mid Mirana then, in the hands of Borneo. Although it is a favoured pick for Milan. Oh, I don't know. So maybe, or perhaps this is going to be a mid lane Void Spirit in the hands of Borneo, and then the Mirana will take things to the off lane. I don't know, it's quite awkward. Nigma, they actually grabbed the Ursa as the final pick. That's definitely something you don't see very often. I'll have to see how this pick turns out. Definitely has the potential just to wreck everyone on the side of MudGolems, but they do have quite a lot of mobility, as I was saying earlier. So Borneo is taking the Snapfire into the mid lane. But I don't know. I just don't really think he needs to build an Aghanims this game. I really don't. Perhaps maybe he's just going to go for like some crazy right-clicking build, and then just try and like focus on the little shredder. Maybe get the talent where it takes his attack damage instead, and then just try and wreck people that way. I don't know. It's quite tricky. I mean, I suppose you could still gobble up the Faceless Void and throw him in there, but I mean, he is pretty much your only decent target for it. We'll have to wait. Well, we'll just have to see how it pans out. But I mean, looking at this draft, I'm definitely preferring Nigmas. Yeah, I'm definitely preferring Nigmas in this scenario. Despite the fact that the MudGolems do have 3 real big teamfight ultimates that they could potentially just, as long as if they use them decently enough, and maybe they get like 2-3 hero chronos each time, or at least someone who's just miles away from the rest of their team, they should be able to get a couple of good kills. But even still, I think I'm still leaning towards Nigma this game. You never know. I may be proven wrong. MudGolems might be able to perform something special here and show us some real good dotes. But even still, they've done a smoke up straight away. They're actually heading towards the bot lane. So we might see a little bit of a contestation going on here. GH is actually just running straight up to the high ground. Borneo, I think he maybe saw Weehar there, but they're going to keep walking into the river now. Heading straight up to the high ground onto the triangle. But there's no one else here. They don't even see the Weehar. Although I think they just got a glimpse to see the Weehar was down there. They may even see Miracle was into the other side. You can see GH is just rolling around. Just trying to maybe act a little bit baity. Ski will actually run into him. Oh, misroll there from GH. Nearly got himself cliffed. That'd have been awkward. But everyone on the side of MudGolems, they're all just hanging around. They're going to see who tries to go for the bounty rune, see if they can catch someone out. It looks like it's going to be Croaky, sat on top of that. Arrow comes out, does connect. It's going to set up for an easy scatter blast to the face from Boromir. It looks like that is going to be first blood going towards MudGolems. So nice little bit of bonus gold there for Milan to help get his support items on a little bit quicker. But I mean, because that was all going on, Weehar does get a slightly better block. I mean, it's going to be a very frontline creep. Doesn't actually get a last hit though. A little bit mistimed there with the scatter blast. Not that it really matters. But it was still. Oh no, Milan's actually TPing back up towards the top lane. It's a long TP, but she actually didn't have any sort of ability to try and cancel it out. But now this is MudGolem stuck in a dual lane against the tri lane. Milan's already completely rotated out of there, so they have to be a little bit careful here. But it was a nice movements from MudGolems. They're able to put Skeeter up top and up against the Beastmaster rather than facing up against that aggressive tri lane where he definitely would have struggled to get any farm at all. Down the bottom. NSA does connect on the 33, followed up by the roll from GH. They try and do as much damage as they can, but the Fire Spirits from Fata just reducing Miracle's attack speed so damn low, just can't get enough Fury Swipe stacks. Let's see how things are going in the mid lane. So 2 and 4 to Bora to the 4 and 2 of Weehar. So definitely a slight lead so far for Weehar. That bottom, just constant aggression coming out from the side of Nigma. As soon as 33 or Fata gets anywhere near this creep wave, they're immediately on top of them. And even despite how much focus Nigma's putting on just applying pressure, Miracle's still having just a lovely time getting up all this CS, top of the charts at the moment. Range creep actually got caught air by the creep wave. GH not there in time to soak up the XP. So it's a little bit unfortunate there for Nigma. Those range creeps offer the highest amount of XP bonus, and especially when you're a tri lane, you need every single little bit you can get. But even still, up top, Skeeter, with the help of Milan, he's got relative free farm now, 13 and 6. He's still 5 behind that of Miracle, but it's only the early portions of the game at the moment. It's not going to have too much of a great effect. Even still in this mid lane, Boris has got his bottle filled, delivered. Meanwhile, Weehar's already had his for a while now, but already ran out of charges. But it is still just a very slight lead for Weehar in terms of CS, but even still, probably shouldn't have too much of a great impact in this game. We are trying to get lucky with the bottom rune, and unfortunately for him, it spawns top, so that's going to be a free bottle refill there for Boromir. Rune spawns are the thing that really can make all the difference in the mid lane. We need to be careful about being low. 1 cookie forwards plus a scatter blast. And he will be brought pretty damn low. He doesn't even have his level 6 yet to try and escape from it. Just got to be real careful about his positioning. Meanwhile, Kuroki's actually rotated back up towards the top lane. Going to try and provide a little bit of assistance for mind control. Maybe realising that Ski was having a decent time getting some CS, so they want to try and delay him as much as they possibly can. Enigma don't really need more than 2 heroes down that bot lane. I mean, despite the fact that they've been in a tri lane for a large portion of the time, Miracle still has just slightly more XP than 33. Actually even ends up being 3 bounties for the Miracle Nigma that time. So Mortimer's Kiss is now online for Boromir. There's a cookie forward with a Scatter Blast and then just immediately connects it, realising that he can get a free kill here. We are charging forwards, but unfortunately for him, he's just shy of his level 6, so he can't quite just zip away. And because of that, Boromir is just a full level on top of him now. Going to be his level 7 after this catapult falls. Meanwhile, Miracle's still got complete free farm though. Every time 33 gets near this creep wave, it's so easy for Miracle to just jump on him and force out that dissimulate and make 33 try and retreat. Oh, up top. Thought maybe Skeet was getting gone on them, but he's just trading blows with people. Oh, well, that creep betrayed Boromir there. Completely turned the wrong way just as he threw the cookie at him. A little bit of a waste of movement there. Meanwhile, up top, Skeeter and Milan actually managed to get the kill onto Kuroki. Meanwhile, in the mid lane, GH just rotated around, does a roll, it connects onto Boromir. Pops Illusion, trying to stay alive. There's a rotation coming up from far. The Fire Spirit's there in time, and that's enough that's going to be able to keep Boromir alive. GH ends up falling, and then even Weehart just nearly got enough mana there to get a zip away, but the cookie came out from Boromir just in time, locks him in place. So that gank went completely the wrong way for the side of Nigma. Ends up just giving 2 easy kills away for the side of Boromir. So now he's level 8. He's 2 levels over the top of Weehart now. Really looking rough for them. Meanwhile, at least Miracle, he's having a fun time down bottom. He gets a kill now onto 33. Just going to pad out his wallet a little bit more on top of all those CS that he does have. But even still, Boromir is still at top of that CS net worth chart by 400 gold. Purely for the fact of how easy it's been for him in this mid lane so far. He's going to rotate up to the top now. Realising there's a Weehard rotate around. The cookie forward onto Milan there. Does a lot of damage. And with that final blast coming out from Boromir, it's enough to actually get another kill. And even Kuroki falls. So they lose the Faceless Void, but at least they get 2 kills in return. And again, that's more of a delay onto Weehar. I mean, Boromir going to be level 9. After this creep, he's level 9. Weehar's still level 6. Jesus. My god, I've not seen that much of an out level for quite a while in the mid lane. So Boromir, he is just going straight for the Aghanim's. I mean, he's having such a great time. He will have it online super early. So see if he's able to make some nice action happen once he has that available. We'll have to wait and see. Miracle just dodging all of those Fire Spirits. Actually turns around back into fire there. Remnant comes out, it does connect, but he's got a rage available, so they're not going to be able to find this kill. Miracle's getting pretty damn low. Sunray gets committed, but he does pop his rage and he's trying to run away. Just about manages to outpace it and he will survive. Meanwhile up top, level 6 was online there for Mind Control, so they managed to find the kill onto him. Ooh, meanwhile though, GH actually ended up rotating around bottom and they find the kill onto Fata. I think he was diving that tier 1 tower a little bit too much to try and get that kill onto Miracle. Ended up just costing his life. So unfortunately for MudGolems, sure, Boromir is having a great time. He's super high leveled, but Skeet is actually starting to suffer a little bit. He's had 2 quick deaths in a row. Oh, but he actually just rotates around to the mid lane. Another kill onto Weehar. Had his Mask of Madness online for Skeeter, so just wanted to make sure he got a good first usage out of that Chronosphere. Looks like he's probably just going to go into the jungle now. Start trying to farm up that way. It's a little bit too dangerous to start staying in the lanes. Especially seems how Mind Control's got his level 6, so he's going to have his ultimate always available. Well, not always available, but the large majority of the time. and Weehar's always going to be there to just try and assist if Skeeter ever does show his face. So now he's just got to play himself in hiding for the next 10 minutes and start trying to farm up his next item or so. Another remnant connection there by 33, but this is not enough follow-up. Meanwhile in the mid, Weehar dies once again. What level is he now? So he's level 7, but Boromir is still level 10. Boromir actually just gives away his bottle over to Man. Realised he doesn't actually need that anymore. Got his soul ring online, working towards his that axe. Only 1,500 gold away, so he's gonna have it online at a pretty quick timing. So 33 actually building. He's just got an urn and brown boots. That's all he has. I mean, he's not really had the freest time at all in this lane. So he is working towards that Yule Scepter as his next item. But even despite the fact that Skeeter's died a couple of times, he is actually just beating Miracle on net worth. Now, how many kills? He's only got 1 kill, wasn't he? Or has he got 2 kills? He actually has 2 kills and 1 assist, but does have 2 deaths. Maybe still not enough to slow him down too much. Weehar's actually rotating around. Looks like he's going to find an easy kill on Zapata. 33, he's still hanging around. He does get dusted up, but it's just going to easily astral step away. So he will survive. Meanwhile, though, Skeeter's just charging at mind control. He wants a bash. He just does not get it, though. At least he managed to find the kill onto MC's courier, but not before he actually got those necros delivered. An immediate smoke out as well from him and GH. So maybe they're going to try and find something with this necro book and Raw available. Maybe they want to try and make a move here onto Skeeter. The Hawk does spot him moving into the triangle. And send another Hawk flying towards him, so they will spot him out. Raw's going to be immediately committed here by Skeeter, but he spots him out too quickly. Mind Control's trying to get close enough to get the Raw off, but Skeeter was paying attention way too much and he's able to escape. Meanwhile, the rest of MudGolems will rotate around. Weehar gets caught out and he's just going to fall one more time. It's now 0-6. Looking real rough for him. I mean, I think, like Skeeter, he doesn't really care about it so much that he's not even going to bother going for that Manta Star as first item. He's got the Mask of Madness, then going to go into the Battle Fury. So a little bit more of a greedier build, but Weehar's been shut down so damn hard that he's still miles away from finishing off his Orchid. Really is miles away. So Fire and Milan have actually done a smoke up of their own. Maybe we're going to make a rotation down to the bottom, try and find a kill onto Miracle. The 33 actually finds Weehar. Nice dodge there from Weehar to avoid the dissimulate damage. So we'll see what else they're able to set up. Looks like Milan wants to try and get an arrow onto Miracle, but I mean, it's not going to be easy to kill. Actually, it's going to set up straight for Weehar. The arrow does connect. Meanwhile, GH rolls on and makes a connection onto Milan instead. The egg does get popped. Mind Control does get involved. The cookie though actually holds him in place, so it's going to be stunned for a really long time. He may just have to be forced to use the Raw defensively. Does force down to Boromir. Meanwhile, Fire just gets focused down. You know, Bloody Hell 33 tries to make a dive onto Mind Control to finish him off, but Kuroki just stabs him in the back with that Laguna Blade and quickly brings him down. Skeeter's now rotating. The Mortal's Kisses are now committed. The Skeeter comes in, still doesn't have no Chronosphere for another minute. He's just going to be trying to get lucky with these bashes. He does get a bash just as GH is about to roll away. So finally a little bit fortunate there. The Gobble Up coming out from Skeeter does actually manage to connect. 1-hit bash, 2-hit bash, and that is Miracle gone. Looks like maybe Boromir wants to try and do a follow-up there, but Skeeter changed his mind and goes back. So, okay, I eat my words. The Aghanim's coming out from Boromir. It does actually pay off in the end. Gets him that nice little extra pick-off onto Miracle there. I mean, I don't think Nigma was really expecting Boromir to have it on this damn soon. I mean, he has had such a free time. 7k net worth. He has double Weehar's net worth. That just shows how badly Weehar's been shut down this game. Also level 9 when Boromir is level 13. 4 levels behind. This is really not one of those great Storm Spirit games. I mean, he's actually below the net worth of Milan. He's been shut down that hard that the POS 4 on MudGolems side is actually fatter than he is. That's real sad. Spit out. Connects. Milan actually manages to land straight onto Weehar. Just about manages to get his dive off in time, and he will manage to escape with his life. Just barely though. Meanwhile, MC and Miracle managing to take down the tier 1 bottom. So making up a little bit of space. Oh, no, it looks like he ends up getting caught one more time. And he falls to 33 for a solo kill. Sweetheart's game. It's just getting worse and worse. 0 and 7 now. So maybe Skier and Fire wants to try and set up. Maybe see if Miracle wants to push onto the tier 2. But luckily enough for him, he does fall back in time. Milan? No. He sort of couldn't quite decide fast enough. He wanted to go for that arcane rune. And they will go to GH. But even still, Week 33 manages to get the last hill onto the tower. A little bit of bonus gold. Yeah, a couple of rotations now from Nigma to Rito up top, but it's too late. Boron he just bailed. We're sure he gets his deny on the tower, but even still, Boron does escape with his life. I mean, he's got 2,200 HP at 16 minutes in. Now I've gone for a smoke up, see who they can find. Fire actually gets found out in the jungle when he loses his courier, but even still, at least he didn't die himself. So see who MudGolems able to find. Looks like they will run into Weeha. He'll set to connect is there. Cookie forwards, easy connection, and Weeha dies one more time. Yeehaw! Down goes the Storm Spirit. Now 0 and 8. Oh, that's so sad to see. At least this is all space for Miracle. Miracle, he's now got his Battle Fury online, so his farming speed's going to really start ramping up. He's already 1,300 gold over the top of Skeeter. What's Skeeter build? So Skeeter's still working towards his Battle Fury himself. Obviously, it's a little bit more delayed as he went for that Mask of Madness instead. Miracle even queued up for the Basher as his next item. We'll just have him locked down. Whoever he does get on top of. Hopefully get a few lucky bashes. Oh, nice dive there, time by Fire. Nearly gets caught out by the Roar from MC. So maybe MudGolems want to try and set something up around their own jungle. Meanwhile, Weehard jumps straight forward, gets the connection on 33, but unfortunately finishes just in time. So he manages to stop the roll and fold coming in from GH. He ends up getting roared on, but a nice spit out there from Boromir. Connects onto 2 of them. Weehard falls in a second, quickly followed by Kuroki and Mind Control. All 3 of them gone. I don't think even the egg or the Chronosphere was even necessary at that point. There was just so much damage that they all just disappeared in seconds. But even still, just another little victory going for MudGolems there. Just really further themselves in this game. Just Miracle is the only one on the side of Nigma who's having at all of a nice game. I mean, even Mind Control is next in net worth on their team. He's still 400 gold behind that of the other opposite side. 5th on the net worth chart. Just look at Weeha all the way down there. So sad to see. There you go. Go up, spit out, connects onto Weeha, sun him up in place. This dual scepter, locking him down. Arrow connects. Looks like Weeha will fall. It looks like they might be able to get a return kill onto Milan. And even Boris now completely alone on the rest of his team. There is now some help coming out from Fire and 33. They're going to see if they can lend a little bit of space for him. He takes so much damage from Miracle. As soon as he gets through those Fury Swipes, even Fire ends up falling. I think that's just purely from the AoE cleave damage coming out from that Battle Fury. Now 33's Sam going to fall from there, so it's connection by the LSA. And he drops as well. So finally Weeha dies for a good cause. His death has meaning. At last! Hooray! Oh, I just realised I've had the wrong screen on. But even still, at last, he so his death gets 4 kills. So his game will get worse, but hey, it makes the rest of his team better. And that's just going to leave the opportunity for Nigma just to roll straight into that Roshan pit. And as we all know, Ursa just completely wrecks Roshan. Taking that way super damn quick before any sort of rotation happens. Well, they do a smoke up, but immediately gets cancelled by Milan. Very aggressive positioning. Even just turns around, Miracle jumps forward, trying to get a lucky bash, but doesn't quite manage to find anything. He's now just trying to run away. The spit out comes there, connect onto Miracle. He's now just going to turn around, trying to stun lock up Skier. He just gets a Gouda Blade in the face. He's stun locked way too much, and he ends up falling. The egg is up on the high ground, and that is the first life of Miracle down. Jumping from Weeha, trying to find something, doesn't actually end up connect onto a single person. He's still going in forwards. He's run out of mana though, so he's going to be stuck in there. The rest of Nigma has to come involved to try and assist him, but he ends up falling. Plus GH has cost his own life. Now it's just Miracle all alone. Everyone on the side of Nigma just completely bails. And now it looks like Miracle's just going to fall for this. So I think Weeha... Okay, right, he's just balancing out, right? He helped his team out by dying last time, so he's like, it's only fair that I screw you guys over and force you into a really, really bad fight. And sure enough, he did. And it was a really, really bad fight. It was terrible. I mean, they literally just got some momentum on their side. They got the Roche. And it immediately all gets thrown away. Sure, they get killed into Skeeter, but it doesn't matter. You lose everyone. You lose pretty much everyone. Kuroki survived. Oh, hey. I think Weeha's is tilted, to be honest. He's still working towards his Orchid. He's still... He's still like 900 plus gold away from Orchid. And it's 22 minutes in. Oh, it's so bad. He's 0-11. He's 0-11. 11 of the 21 kills on the side of MudGolems are just on Weeha. They've even gone for a smoke up, moving in. And they're going to spot Weeha one more time. Dual Scepter, easy arrow setup, connection, cookie forward, scatter blast, dead. Even the jump forward from 33 actually manages to find Kuroki with the Yule Scepter and then the Remnant. So another 2 kills. It's looking real rough. It's looking real rough now for Nigma. Even for Miracle. I mean, there's a lot of weight on his shoulders now. A lot of damn weight. He basically doesn't have a Storm Spirit to actually assist him in these fights. It's literally just up to him and Mind Control to actually make some work happen. And sure enough, he did. So every single Ulma is on 9 for MudGolems, so we'll potentially see him try to make another move and try and get another pick off. It looks like maybe Nigma are just trying to bait out Miracle. They're going to go for a smoke play. Yeah, well, MC's TPing in, so it looks like they want to try and get a grab. Oh, actually, MudGolems ends up getting found, so his TP gets cancelled. He's going to put a roar onto Far. Can try and stand his ground. Far's getting pretty damn low to all these Necro creeps. So MudGolems, he finds a return kill onto Far to release, but hey, it ends his own life, and it costs also the roar. The rest of Nigma have all rotated around. They want to try and find something else here. Roll forward from GH. Nearly finds Skeeter. He will roll into the creep wave. Jump forward from WeAre. Finds the connection. They're going to try and keep him locked down in place. He's silenced the Gouda Blade. LSA. Skeeter's dropping so low. He finally just about drops. There's enough damage to bring him down just before the stun wears off. Again, nice connection from GH. Keeping 33 locked in place. LSA follow up as well. Taking a lot of damn damage. This is so much disable on the side of Nigma. It's so hard for anyone on the side of MudGolems to actually disengage properly. So finally, it's another little fight going Nigma's way. It ends up getting a 2-for-0 trade. I'm discounting the MC and the Phoenix kill. Separate occasion, but even still, that whole scenario is what led up to that. So Nigma does need quite a few more of those fights to happen for them to actually become a real dominant force in this game. Oh, awkward pause. Look at this weird mess of stone and flesh. What's going on? I don't even know. There's like this weird stone block on top. I'm not sure what the hell I'm looking at here. It looks like some like demented catapult skin. Just got these two big ass wheels with like, I don't know, it launches a big stone perhaps. Messed up, man. Real messed up. So, I mean, in that entire engagement though, MudGolems, they didn't actually have an opportunity to use a single one of their spells. I think maybe Skeeter, he actually needs... Oh, okay, he is actually building it. I was going to say, he needs to get that Manta Star online as soon as he can because these silences are just absolutely destroying him. So you will have that available, well, in about 1,700 gold. But even still, I think... what's going on here? Is that... What the hell? It's a flying Marana! Hiding in the trees! Yeah! Ah! Look at this. It's like she's mounting onto the tree, just gonna like hop over. In fact, she's just been catapulted out by this gecko motherfucker. Oh god, there's so many goddamn leaves. Big artillery. You can't even see... I can't even click her because technically she's not really there. It looks very menacing. Oh, well, yeah, we go. So, I don't think... I think GH is going to be able to get out in time before this... flying Marana actually manages to connect. It's a very fortunate time in there from GH. Hey! Weehaw! He's finished up his orchid. He's actually got a kill! He's got a kill! Oh my god! He's on the board, ladies and gentlemen. He's on the board. And now it's a BKB finish up for Miracle. It's going to be even more difficult now to try and bring this beefy boy down. It could be worth him potentially building a Aghanims after he finishes up this Abyssal Blade. Probably because then he can use his Enrage when he gets caught out by the Chronosphere. Definitely reduce the amount of damage he's taken. Probably just keep him alive. They're making a big rotation now towards the Radiant Triangle. It looks like maybe MudGolems not quite just going to walk up into the high ground. 33, he jumps in. He manages to spot Miracle. He actually gets first hit bashed. It's first hit bashed. Arrow coming out. It does actually manage to connect. The Sun Ray was just making too much of a distraction. You couldn't see it coming. Warmest Kisses come in. Miracle falls. Didn't even have a chance to use his BKB. Now we are caught out once again. Yeah, you got a kill, but it doesn't mean you're going to survive. Toss in from Milan, but they don't actually find anyone. Probably to see Borneo maybe start pushing onto this tier 2 in the mid lane. Well, even though Skiers fell back and farm, but he just wanted to finish up his Manta Star. And even manages to scout out the stacks that were made for Miracle. And everyone's just going to easily clear those up. All of the neutral items. So he took the Grove Bow into the hands of Milan. Cooking the Charm onto Boromir. So even more spamming of those Gobble up. Oh, GH. Trying to make some cute plays down the bot lane, but he ends up just getting caught out. I mean, every single time that MudGolems are winning these fights, they're not actually taking objectives. Like, they're still the tier 1 bottom and then both tier 2s in the mid and top lane. So, they're still yet to really transition any of these fights into real progression for the rest of their team. So Weehai might get caught out, needs to be careful. 33 jumps forward. He's going to set up for the easy Remnant. It didn't look like 33 wanted to put himself in a position to get cookied forwards, not knowing if there's going to be support from the rest of Miracle. Nigma. I keep doing that. Arg. So Sodercrest nearly finished up for... Is it nearly finished up? No, it's still got away there actually. Never mind. Ignore me. Missed a few CS there, MC. Disappointed, didn't you? But now you've Borneo. BKB finished up, so he's even going to be more of a pain in the ass to bring down. Already there's 2,000. Oh, nice cookie forward. Actually connects onto Miracle. The arrow nearly connects itself. That's already the enrage forced out. On cooldown for 25 seconds, and that's going to force Nigma to fall back for now. Don't want to risk getting into any sort of engagement without having that utility available. Jump forward for Weehai. Finds connection onto 33. Going to set up for an easy LSA. Even the Raw commit on top. The Goon Blade now. 33 just vanishes in a second. GH rolls straight into the back lines. They found a grab onto the Farter. He just manages to get his egg off in time. He's going to be able to survive. Nice Chronosphere. Comes out from Skier. Collects onto 3. Miracle's going to drop from this. The sun comes out. Everyone on the side of Nigma gets completely locked down. Now Krogi's getting focused on by Skier. 2 buybacks coming out from MC and Miracle, but it's too late. Everyone else on the side of Nigma's already fallen down. Weehai also drops. Miracle's charged in and they want to try and find something. Then it's on full retreat. GH is in the back line, so it looks like he might find a grab onto Farter, but he does get used up defensively. He might actually eventually fall here, but everyone else on the side is coming out. Bored, nice cookie forward. Farter's still alive, and GH ends up dying before he can fall himself. Miracle now pops his BKB, trying to stand his ground, focusing now onto Borneo, but now they're in full retreat. MC and Miracle, they need to get out of here. If either of them die, it's going to spell real disaster for the rest of the team. Gobble up, toss on to Miracle. It actually stuns in place. Buster Mortimer's kisses. He finally has his rage back off cooldown. And the Mortimer's kisses change target, trying to get another kill onto MC instead, but they're just going to refocus their efforts onto Miracle. And that's a dieback on him. Gone for 100 seconds. And that's just going to be a free Roshan now. MC barely survived himself. If he fell, it would have been 2 diebacks on the side of Nigma. And that could have just potentially been GG in all honesty. Not as in the fact that MudGolems would have been able to push down the mid and end, but it just would have set him back so damn far. It would have been real disastrous to try and pull themselves back into this. Looks like even Kuro might get caught out once again. Tries to get the LSA connection onto 33, but it's an easy dodge. We'll drop the Lagoon Blade onto 33 as well. Looks like he might just fall. The Sunray barely enough to finish him off there. GH does CPM, but it's too late. He's still charging forwards, trying to get some sort of connection here. Meanwhile, though, Borneo, he actually ends up getting caught out by MC and Weehai even snatches off the Aegis. He snatches off the Aegis to get the cheese as well. He even got the cheese. Oh, it's real disaster now for MudGolems. It's got to be in full retreat. Even 33 is getting pretty low. He might fall from this. The Magnetised actually ends up running out. But we are still keeping this pressure going. 33 is getting super low. Then Weehai is now out of mana. He has that cheese though, pops it, but it doesn't matter. He gets stun locked in place. Too many bashes coming out from Skeeter. So the rest of MudGolems are all able to disengage and survive. I mean, but fair enough though. It's a good play by Weehai. Finally has a decent impact to this game. He takes away the Aegis and he takes away the cheese. Sure, he uses them both up in the same fight and still dies, but I mean that's a nice amount of utility snatched away from the mouths of MudGolems. But once again, even though MudGolems did actually come out on top from that, they're just not in a position to actually get any sort of objective from this. So they're also just falling back farming. It's the Scardy now queued up for Skeeter as his next item. Alright, still Abyssal queued up for Miracle. Looks like GH, he actually ends up getting caught out. He's popped his BKB. Oh, he tries to get a TP out, but a lucky bash comes out there from Skeeter. And he ain't going nowhere. Miracle just completely bails. A little bit of observable will give him a little bit of a warning. MudGolems take away the first tier 1 down bottom. Gonna start probably trying to apply a little bit of pressure onto this tier 2. Actually, they're not going to bother. They're just going to fall back and use the Moonlight Shadow. I mean, they will actually... The Moonlight Shadow gets spotted out by Milan TPing into the creep wave. So Nigma realise this is coming. They're just going to fall back. I'm quite surprised they didn't just try and apply a bit of pressure onto that tier 2, though. They could have forced out another glyph. But everyone on the side of Nigma is just hiding at the top part of their jungle at the moment. Even gone for a smoke up. I'm not sure what they'll be able to find from this. GH even TPing up to the mid lane. Maybe it looks like they want to try and get some sort of wrap round onto the rest of MudGolems. It's definitely not going to be the easiest play in the world. They've actually just moved up in towards the triangle. Oh! Arrow actually manages to connect. I don't know if... They will actually see that. They realise that the arrow did connect, so... Super well played there by Lan. I'm sure it wasn't intentional, but even still, very nicely played. We jumps forward, tries to get the silence, but doesn't actually snag onto anything. And he's just used up his entire mana pool once again. Arrow forward. Oh, nearly collects onto Weir. The toss in. Also off the mark there from Boromir, so no one from the side of Nigma gets punished today. No, we'll all fall back. They're not even going to be able to score any of these bounty runes. They might be able to grab the bottom two. In fact, even my controls his TP down there just to guarantee that they get some for this team. They should be able to snag them both. Oh, it looks like 33. He just walks straight into Kuroki. And quick Boris comes in there for the final couple of taps. That brings him down. So he's taking a little shred of usage or attack damage talent. So, and he is building for that Daedalus. Oh, arrow! Oh, nearly connects onto GH. Just barely off the mark. Meanwhile, Far, he ends up getting turned on now by Weehar and Mind Control. Boromir comes into the lend a helping hand. MC, he commits the Raw though, just onto Far. He's going to gobble him up and spit him out. So take that, throwing in the stunned Phoenix. Microsoft is trying to escape, but I don't think he's going to be able to get away from this. Meanwhile, though, Skia, he drops the Chronosphere onto Weehar. And that's just one more death for the Storm Spirit. This game is just looking too damn rough now for the side of MudGolems, for the side of Nigma to really get themselves back into it. Because even Miracle is 7k behind Skeeter. It's an entire item. A very expensive item at that. Still just working towards that Abyssal Blade. 50 gold off. So we'll probably just see him buy that out. He's not going to care about buy. Well, I mean, he's still got buyback on cooldown anyway for another minute. But here we go. It's the first high ground siege of the game. We'll see what MudGolems was able to do with it. Jump fall from 33. Does get a connection onto GH. Even Skia joins in. The Goblin Up actually connects onto Miracle and Kuroki, doing quite a lot of damage. Kuroki now is getting attacked by the Sun Ray. Jump fall from Boromir with a Scatter Blast. Kuroki just barely manages to survive. Now Miracle changes his focus onto the egg. Skia just needs a couple of bashes to keep this egg alive, but unfortunately doesn't get it, and the egg does fall. Now Boromir getting quite low, taking a lot of damage from GH. Even then, the re-engage then from Weehar. He's trying to lock them all into place. Skia's still trying to stand his ground. It's just him and 33 left in this base. Now Skia's is taking a lot of abuse. He gets silenced, but he does manage to pop that Manta Star to free up a little bit of room. 33, he's just trying to juke and drive, waste as much time as he possibly can. But we actually just going to turn around. When he gets a kill, he actually gets the return kill onto 33. Meanwhile, Kuroki and GH actually find the better kill onto Skeeter. But 33 is just going to go for the TP out. So, but hey, it's a good hold by Nigma. They end up taking 4 losses themselves, but it's a 4v4 trade. I mean, yeah, they do. It does cost 2 buybacks, but at least it's just on the support. If that was, say, Miracle had to buy back and We Are had to buy back, then it would have spelt real disaster. But they do manage to hold relatively quite effectively. Slight little gain in XP and gold. And it looks like they might finally be able to take this tier 1 tower in the mid themselves. Ether needs to be careful though. Good to get Rawn in the face. Does actually jump into Scream Wave, gets hit by the LSA, and there's the Raw follow up. The Goon Blade come in as well. And 33 actually ends up falling. So, hey! I think that's Nigma's first team wipe of the game. It only lasted 2 seconds, but even still. Drops the sorry, like, yeah, sorry boys. I should have realised that they would have just jumped me as soon as I showed myself. So, Nigma, they're definitely showing signs of life. They're not out of this game just yet. There is a very small little XP swing back into their favour. But, I mean, they're still 25,000 XP behind. That's pretty dire. Looks like they all want to keep this pressure going. Even the fact that they don't have the Lagoon Blade or the Raw. The Lagoon Blade's actually up now. The Raw's still 20 seconds away. Weeha, he jumped into the back. He does find a grab onto Fata, but it's just going to end up him getting chased away. You know, Miracle was trying to poke into the back lines. Looks like he will actually get caught out now. Everyone else on the side of Nigma is just completely baiting out. There is the BKB forced out. Miracle's just going to try and run away. But there's the Chronosphere. Does get committed. Even the goal up and toss into the land into the back lines. Trying to make as much space as he possibly can for here to try and bring down Miracle. The egg doesn't even get committed. GH rolls into the back. Miracle re-engages with the Abyssal Blade onto Boromir, doing quite a lot of damage. But the egg is about to go off. And now Miracle's completely caught up in the zone. He gets stunned down and brought down. Kuroki even gets brought down himself. Milan, you nearly drop in low. But Weeha, he's out of mana. He can't do any more. And he falls. And now just GH trying to run away as best as he possibly can. He's just going to try and hide behind these trees. Arrow does actually connect just before the TP is able to finish. And even a little point blank gobble spit up and brings him down. So that's 4 kills going towards MudGolems. No buybacks on a single one of these MudGolems Nigma members. This is going to be an easy tier 2. There's not even a glyph available. So they might be able to just push for even more here. Mike Choi, he's spotted in the mid lane. Your Scepter comes out. He actually is going to force out the BKB from Mind Control. He's going to try and run away with this. But I don't think his BKB is going to make any sort of difference. This is way too much physical damage. He's actually just going to buy back. Will there be enough time for MudGolems to just go straight for the tier 4s? They are going to try it. They don't have any of their big ultimates left to assist them in this fight. Mike Control's even done like a little solo smoke up. Going to try and make a wraparound and delay this for as long as he can. Miracle's up in 10 seconds. Weeha's up in 8 seconds. This is do or die now for the side of Nigma. This is the final play. In comes Mike Control from the back. Gets the Raw. Locking down Boromir. Weeha zips into the back. Mike Control, he's starting to get focused down though. He falls real down quickly. Now it's just Weeha left all alone. He's going to have to try and retreat now. He's completely out of mana. Miracle's getting involved. He's popped his BKB, but he just can't lock anyone down. He's just getting juked too hard. All these bashes coming out. Miracle falls. We are locked down all alone. And it was a nice attempt. Even thrown in Skeeter. Just to try to get one final kill there onto Kuroki. But GG's already called. Nigma tap out. Lovely show there by MudGolems. Weeha got absolutely wrecked. That's his score in it. 1-19. Ah, that's so bad. Not saying it's because Weeha played it wrong. It's just the fact that MudGolems just put so much of their attention and focus onto bringing this Storm Spirit down. But it paid off dividends. It literally just put all the weight onto Miracle's back. And unfortunately, it was just too damn heavy. And it just broke him. He could not do it. Just could not sustain his team for all of that. But very well played there by MudGolems. Just lovely use of the Snapfire that game. You know, I wasn't sure if it was going to be super worthwhile going for the Aghanims pickup, but I mean, it's set up for so many goddamn kills that it's always viable, apparently. It doesn't really matter what your line composition is and whether if your teammates already have loads of mobility. Doesn't matter. just throw him in anyway, and you'll still get kills. It always works. But even still, well played by MudGolems, taking this to game 3. So we'll see who's able to take it in the final matchup and actually close out the series. But if you guys have enjoyed this game and the content I've been able to provide, then please think about following me on YouTube or Twitch and Twitter. I announce on what games I'm going to be playing. I do cast relatively regularly. So yeah, if you want to help support me out and keep up to date with what I'm doing, then yeah, please follow me on any of those, and hopefully I'll see you in the next match. Cheers.